Rollerball was a 1974 movie starring James Caan. Based in the far-off future of 2018, James plays Jonathan E., the greatest rollerball player in the world. What exactly is rollerball? Well, we actually never figure out what exactly the rules are, but it seems to be a variation of roller derby with added elements of baseball, football, and wrestling. Also, there are motorcycles. In the far off future of 2018, there was a thing called the corporate wars. And whatever the corporate wars were, they were violent and terrible, but they resulted in finally throwing over national governments and letting companies run things. And thus, the corporate world tells us society is perfect. This society is far, far from perfect. But with wars the thing of the past, the last thing that truly exists as an outlet for human aggression is rollerball. But rollerball has a few purposes, and one of them is to show the futility of human individualism, which is what the problem is. Jonathan E., James, which is a problem because Jonathan is probably the greatest rollerball player ever, and he's overshadowing the game. And this is a problem for the executives that run the world because no one person can overshadow the game. Thus, the executive board wishes for Jonathan to retire, and Jonathan really doesn't want to do that. So, Jonathan doesn't want to retire. It's the only thing he has really going on in his life and the only thing he enjoys doing. And part of the problem is, okay, watching this, it reminded me of something like The Handmaid's Tale. Because, ooh boy, this is a bleak future for women. See, women are traded around like property in this movie. And the executive class is allowed to pick any women they want. And one of them wanted Jonathan's wife, his wife Ella. And they have been plying him with like girls that corporate has chosen for him. Naturally, he's still hung up on being with like the woman he loves. This is a society where only a few are allowed true freedom and the rest must bend and break to the whims of the executive class because they're the ones who know best. But because Jonathan refuses to retire, the game gets more and more violent, and it culminates in a lot of death and destruction. One of the things that unfortunately dates this movie is there is some racism towards Asian people in this show. It's like a lead truck, and at times it doesn't feel like it totally gels with how bleak this society really is. Me and my friend were talking about dystopian sports movies for a project. I kind of said, I think this is probably the example